Right, so we're continuing the investigation and now generally looking at Isaac Newton. So basically Isaac Newton is essentially a thick, as you say, the face is totally different now to all the portrayals, right, is just completely different. So of course this character didn't really exist, it's a code, it's one of their generic sort of historical codes they put in, right, for brainwashing purposes. And the name's totally coded. Isaac is the son of, was it Abraham or whatever, just look at that in a minute. But the Newton, right, means on tea. So this was a new on tea taker, right? He was a tea taker, trance taker. And of course, the 6 and 7 codes all out, 777 code there. Just like so many of the characters, obviously. I was just looking at one yesterday. Winston Churchill died on the 777 code, right? So it's always the same thing. As you see, all the portrayals differ, massively. So it didn't exist like as a person, right? Which is like should be known, like. And again, you see 777 codes and 777 codes all out. 1440, 167, 437. Right? So you see what this character's all about, type of thing. And again, March 3317. Right? And basically, why they have this character, right, is for the gravity idea, which is obviously, and like I pointed out in our last one, right, the apple falling down symbolises the fall of man, which is a fall of the apple is basically the penis. Right? So the fall of man is attributable to the falling off of the testicles or penis type thing off the stem. Right? And so when this drops off, right, all of a sudden the character develops great brains, and which is how they view it, right? They view the character who's got the sex organs as an idiot type of thing, brainless, right? And they consider the one who's been through their program, right, circumcised, to be clever. Hence that Lucy thing, that movie thing where it says Lucy, the average person only uses 10% of their brain capacity. And now here comes Lucy to use 90% of the brain or something, which is completely their codes for their own trance program. Lucy, as in the obviously Lucifer, but also loose circumcision, the circumcision based. Right? So this is a parable. This Newton story is a parable of the circumcision program or trance program, right? How many different faces and looks did he have, And is known for the atoms, reconsidering the atoms, right? Atoms is atom. Again, the biblical thing, right? And of course, what you see when you see the atomic symbol. 6-pointed there, star, right? And right, you see Isaac, the biblical character, going under the knife, right? Going under the knife in the ritual circumcision. Right? And then receiving the wings, like the angel type idea. So it was God demanded the sacrifice of Isaac, right? Which means basically the circumcision of Isaac or the transgendering of Isaac. Right? Abraham, of course, is the father, which is the father of all the religions as well. Right? So Abraham's the godfather who does the transgendering and the circumcision upon the children. Right? Now sacrifice, right? Sacrifice, of course, means sacred, right? Like sacre means sacred. Which basically, obviously, in the Freemasonry, you have the profane and sacred idea in the Freemasonry, right? So here we see the sacred things set apart as special, high symbolic value, right, as opposed to lure, right? So apply that to the theory of gravity, right? Gravity, once the balls are cut off, right, symbolically, or right, and practically, right, the balls are cut off, right, and the thing lightens up, right, and then goes high. When the balls are attached, it's the theory of gravity that pulls down towards the ground, right? So it's basically another code for the sacred and profane in the Freemasonry, right? The profane becomes the ordinary or mundane things, people with no special symbolic significance. The sacred becomes their special people, or high-minded, as they put it, because they've had their parts snipped out or cut out, right? Snipped off or cut out. And that makes the theory of gravity. So they go upwards, right? Hence that, the Jesus type of idea of the two fingers up, right? And if they haven't had their parts cut off, they're dragged down by the theory of gravity, see, pulled towards the ground. It's so that's the explanation of Isaac Newton's gravity theory, right? Outside the temple. Or reverence and even fear, because they use the fear in the hex. Right? So your laws of gravity, or Leos or Levi's of gravity, right? And as you can see, mass as in Masonic. As we know, F is 6, G is 7, MM is 33. So you can see there's obviously something coded hidden about that, right? It's just basically a simple explanation of the Freemasonic program, right? So you got the high and mighty ideas, right? Like the Lord God in the highest and all this, right? Basically, you're talking about circumcision. You've got differences between high and tight circumcision, high and loose. And as we know, when you go further through the circumcision list, you get to the actual cutting the bits off completely, see, or turning them inside out, or whatever they do. Jaws like Steven Spielberg, and Boys in the Hood, Boys in the Hood. Interesting, it's called La Loi de la Rue in French, like Danny LaRue. Danny LaRue. So basically, right, as I pointed out, to put the Lucy in the Lucifer, right? Yeah, you got Lucy the human chimp. As so again, this is something to do with what they do when they're taking chimpanzees or monkeys or whatever, and they're humanizing monkeys through that program. They obviously do this weird stuff in that. They experiments on pigs and monkeys and animals and all this, for that eugenics program type idea. You see the human chimp. Of course, a chimera. A chimera is basically a crossbreed idea anyway. So what are they coding in with this? As Manly P. Hall said, right, the seething energies of Lucifer are in your hand, right? So basically, you can work that one out, right? And the rule in spiritual awakening, right? So Again, you're seeing the fire there and the ice, as in the sacrifice. You've got the fire and ice, right? The cold and hot, right? And so this basically means like after a circumcision, you're then spiritually awakened. The idea, this is what they're supposed to. This is that theory of that religious stuff, anyway, right? Like one hand up, sacred, and one down, profane. See? As they says that passage in the Bible, take one up and cast the other down or something. Right? Basically, this. See, that is basically your laws of gravity. Gravity and motion. The motion is revolving around the temple. The temple.